There are 24 styles total in Blue Lock Rivals, and today I'm going to be comparing every style's ability to the anime as well as rank each style in a tier list to see how accurate they are to Blue Lock. And before we get into our first style, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe. We're getting so close to reaching 300,000 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe and help us out and join the Floaty Nation. And with that being said, let's get into the first style. Alright, so the first style that we're going to be starting off with is Naggi. And in terms of Naggi, as you guys can see, we actually have quite a bit of moves, okay? So the first move that we're going to be testing out is the trap. So the way the trap works is the ball is in the air, and if you use the trap, you take control of the ball and you could actually shoot it afterwards as well. It's a pretty good move, I'm not gonna lie. So that is how it looks like in the game. Let's go ahead and check out how it looks like in the anime. Alright, so as you guys can see, Naggi is going to be jumping up in the air and he takes control of the ball in midair, bro. He takes control of it in midair and it's pretty fire, pretty aura moment. And the next move that we have is the 0 reset turn. And the way this one works is you pretty much just dribble with the ball. And if I'm not wrong, I don't think this one is in the anime. This one is actually only in the manga. Alright, so as you guys can see, this is how it looked like in the manga. So obviously Naggi with the ball, he's dribbling with the ball and he says 0 reset turn. And I actually found a colored version of this as well. So as you guys can see, man, it's pretty much a dribbling move that Naggi does do. So it's pretty fire. Next up, we got the juggling shot. And the way this one works is you could actually like feint out a couple of times and then shoot the ball for real afterwards. It's a pretty cool move. You get to feint a couple times, so that's pretty cool. That's how it looks like in the game. Let's see how it looks like in the anime or manga. Alright, so just like the last move, this one is actually only in the manga. It's not in the anime yet, but as you guys can see, man, you know, Naggi just, you know, using the juggling shot, he could actually feint a couple of times as well. So it's pretty cool, pretty identical to the one that we have in the game as well. The next move that we have is the reverse 2-stage, and this one is actually a stealing move. So you steal the ball from the person and you get to shoot the ball right after. So it's a pretty cool, you know, unique type of move, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so after searching for like 10 minutes, unfortunately, I was not able to find, you know, the manga scene or like anything of this one at all. But anyways, the next move that we have is the trap dance, and the way this one works is you just take the ball and you get to like kick it afterwards as well. Pretty chill move, I'm not gonna lie. And once again, I was not able to find this one in the manga either. But anyways, boys, let's go ahead and move on to the awakening. Alright, so this right here is the awakening animation that we do have for Naggi. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it looks pretty cool, bro. We got that skull right behind us. So that's how it looks like in the game. Let's see how it looks like in the anime. Alright, so in the anime, as you guys can see, this is how it looks like. You know, Naggi just staring into the guy's soul. And then, obviously, we got that skull. But in terms of the ultimate mode, the first move that we have is Death Dance. And this one is actually a shooting move. So as you guys can see, it's actually a cutscene as well. Like, obviously, as you guys can see, it's a pretty cool cutscene. But you do shoot the ball at the end. So it is a pretty cool move. Boom, there we go. We got the skull. And there we go. We kind of missed, but it's okay. So that's how it looks like in the game. Let's see how it looks like in the anime or manga. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard trying to find this specific move, but I think this is sort of where it's from. I don't know if it is, but... And the next move that we have is the 5-stage volley, and the way this one works is actually pretty insane. This is actually one of my favorite moves in the game. So as you guys can see, it's another cutscene, alright? So you say, thank you, Isagi. So you actually go ahead and, you know, kick the ball at Isagi, or somebody that's supposed to be Isagi, I guess. And, check this out. Kaiser spawns out of nowhere. I don't know where Kaiser comes from, he just spawns, and yeah, it's a very insane move, bro. One of my favorite cutscenes in the entire game, bro. Oh my god, we got the skull as well. Yeah, this thing is fire, bro. This thing is fire. And now we shoot the ball. There we go, and goal. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this move is insane. So let's see if it's in the anime. Alright, so I was actually able to find a fan-made animation of it. So as you guys can see, this is a fan-made animation from the manga. So it's in the manga, it's not in the anime yet. The next one that we have is the tap lift. So let me go ahead and use this one over here. As you guys can see, another amazing cutscene. And bro, like, they really cooked with this update, man. You know, a lot of people were kind of upset with the updates in Blue Lock Rivals, but this one and the now real one was amazing, bro. So look at this cutscene right here, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. So that's how the tap lift looks like in the game. Let's check out the anime. All right, so this was the closest thing I found in the anime, okay? So as you guys can see, you tap the ball into the ground to give it some air, and then you jump up, spin around, bro. This is cold, bro. Everybody's just watching Naggi right now. They're just like surprised, and then nice to meet you, Japan. I am Naggi. Oh my goodness, man. This is insane. And that is actually insane. And he scores. All right, the next move that we have is the 2-stage volley. So let me just aim over here, and oh, ball must be on enemy player. Okay, so let me just aim over here, and here we go. So as you guys can see, another cutscene, and we got Kaiser in the cutscene as well. And this is actually insane. Oh my goodness, dude. They actually cooked so hard. So obviously another shooting move. So that's how it looks like in the game. Let's check out the anime. All right, so this was the closest thing I found in the anime. So as you guys can see, this is what we got right here, okay? So he controls the ball, all right? And then he goes ahead and kicks it, and there we go. All right, 2-stage volley right there, bro. All right, so last but not least, we got the space shot. So for this one, the ball must be in the air. And if I use the move, as you guys can see, this right here is the space shot, okay? I'm not gonna lie, another crazy cutscene. I'm pretty sure every single move with Naggi or Naggi has been a shooting move so far. So every single ultimate move has been a shooting move with a cutscene, which is insane. And there we go. We went ahead and scored that. So that's how it looks like in the game. Let's check out the anime real quick. All right, so once again, after searching for like 10 minutes, I was not able to find anything for this one. It's probably only in the manga, but yeah, I was not able to find it. But anyways, let's go ahead and rank this in the tier list. And here we do have a tier list. And let me just quickly introduce all the rankings for you guys. So obviously we got the very accurate. We got accurate, decent, and what the sigma. I'm not sure what that one's supposed to mean, but it's the worst category that we do have. So in terms of Naggi, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, bro. I feel like this one definitely does deserve very accurate. And the reason why that is because like almost every single move is directly from the manga or the anime, which is pretty good. All right, but next up we got Chiguri. And in terms of Chiguri, as you guys can see, we got two moves, which are speedster and accelerate. So the first one is speedster, which pretty much just lets you like speed down the map. As you guys can see, I'm zooming right now, bro. All right, so as you guys can see, we got Chiguri just running down the field, bro. This guy is zooming in the anime as well. And the next move that we have is the accelerate. So the accelerate pretty much just allows you to like, you know, just teleport. I'm pretty sure you could only teleport once with it before it gets off cooldown. So that's how it looks like in the game. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, this guy's talking. Chiguri just pops out of nowhere, teleports to the ball or dashes to the ball. And yeah, bro, this guy is really quick. All right, now moving on to the ultimate mode. All right, so as you guys can see, this is how the awakening animation looks like with Chiguri. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it looks pretty fire, bro. The best striker in the world is me. Yes, sir. All right, so in the anime, it's actually like almost the same, bro. As you guys can see, his leg is chained up, and he's gonna go ahead and just take a deep breath. The best striker in the world is me, bro. He's gonna say it, bro. I know he's gonna say it. Come on. Chains break. He releases his right foot, and yeah, it's insane, bro. All right, so in terms of his ultimate mode, we only have one move called the blast, and if I use the blast, as you guys can see, it's pretty much a stronger version of the accelerate. So you just dash more further, and you get two of them. So all right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, Chiguri is running with this guy over here, and he just ditches the guy, bro. He just dashes forward. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like so far everything has been on point and like pretty accurate to the anime. So let's go ahead and rank this in the tier list. All right, so in terms of Chiguri, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I think everything was pretty much very accurate. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Chiguri in very accurate as well. And the next style that we have is Don Lorenzo. All right, so in terms of Don Lorenzo, the first move that we have is the zombie dribble, which pretty much does this. You just dribble with the ball. Pretty cool dribbling move. So let's check out the anime version of it. All right, so I was actually only able to find an animation of it. So as you guys can see, this is how the animation looks. All right, the next move that we have is the zombie dash. And as you guys can see with the zombie dash, you pretty much... What the? What just happened? Okay, let me try that again. So with the zombie dash, you pretty much just dash forward with the ball. That's how it looks like right there. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was actually not able to find anything on this zombie dash move in the anime or the manga. So I couldn't really find anything for this. But let's move on to the next move, which is the golden defense. And in terms of the golden defense, pretty self-explanatory move. You just like dash to the ball and kick it away. So that's how it looks like in the game. Let's check out how it looks like in the anime. All right, so this right here is the animation I found like from the manga, which kind of shows the move in action. All right, but now it is time for the awakening. All right, so this right here is the awakening animation that we do have for Don Lorenzo. Give me money, okay? Pretty cool animation, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So this is how it looks like in the game. Let's check out how it looks like in the anime. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, this is how it looks like, or I'm pretty sure this is a fan-made animation. So this is how the fan-made animation looks like. You know, Don Lorenzo is homeless. Some guy comes up to him. All right, so the first move that we have is Yo Michael. Bro, that's like one of the coolest moves in the game, bro. So that's how it looks like in the game. Let's check out the anime real quick. All right, so this right here is another fan animation I found. So obviously he just takes the ball and says Yo Michael. All right, the next move that we have is the counter attack. So we gotta jump up in the air and use the move. So as you guys can see, this right here is the counter attack. Pretty cool move. All right, and now we shoot, and there we go. Good power in there as well. All right, so this right here is a fan-made animation of the move. Pretty cool move, I'm not gonna lie. It's off the manga. All right, so it's based off the manga and stuff. Pretty cool, man. All right, last but not least, we got the undead mode, and this one actually lets you just run around like a zombie. We're actually pretty quick as well. Like, look how fast we're running right now. So that right there is the undead mode. All right, so in terms of the manga, I think this was the closest thing I kind of found. You know, it's pretty much just Don Lorenzo like being super quick with the ball. So yeah, this this is the closest thing I found. All right, so in terms of Don Lorenzo, I guess I'm gonna have to put him in the accurate tier for now. All right, the next style that we have is King. And the first move that we have for King is the Lion Steal, which pretty much just steals the ball like this. So that's how it looks like in the game. And in terms of the anime, as you guys can see, this is the closest thing I kind of found. So as you guys can see, King just pops out of nowhere and just takes the ball, bro. All right, next up, we got the Lion Chop Feints, which pretty much just, you know, fakes the person out. And I'm pretty sure it, like, stuns them for a second as well, if I'm not wrong. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, King literally just does this over here. He chop feints this guy. Oh my god, bro. This is actually insane, dude. And the next move that we have is the Chop Dribble, which pretty much just dribbles with the ball, and you're actually able to shoot at the very end of it as well. So let's check out how it looks like in the anime. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, King is literally dribbling through everybody right now. Oh my god, that's insane. This guy, bro, he's still going. He's literally just still going, bro. He's going through everybody right now. All right, so now it is time for the ultimate mode. All right, so as you guys can see, this is how the ultimate mode looks like for King. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it looks really cool, bro. All right, look at this, bro. I'm pretty sure they reworked this like 2 updates ago or 3 updates ago, so it is a pretty new animation. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Look at this, man. Oh my goodness, man. So that's how the animation looks like in the game. Let's see how it looks like in the anime. All right, so this is how it looks like in the anime, and oh my god, bro, already you could like kind of see like how similar it is. This is actually pretty accurate. All right, so the first move that we have is the Feast move, and let's go ahead and see what this one does real quick. All right, as you guys can see, this is how it looks like. A pretty cool move, I'm not gonna lie. Nice little cutscene, and I'm pretty sure at the very end of it, we do shoot the ball. Look, check this out, bro. Check this out, bro. My boy is like beefing Isagi right now, and we score that as well. Wait, I didn't even know I scored that. Okay, so that's how it looks like in the game. Let's try to find it in the anime. All right, so in terms of the anime, I'm pretty sure this is from this scene over here. So as you guys can see, a bunch of people are on King over here. You know, King is locked in, bro. My boy's locked in. He's gonna go ahead and shoot the ball, and I'm pretty sure there's a lion that pops up behind him as well, just like in the game. So he's gonna go ahead and shoot the ball. Come on, King. There we go. And we got the lion as well. There we go. Yes, sir. That is insane. All right, so the next move that we have is the Twisted Path. Why is it not working? Okay, never mind. There we go. I can see it. I can feel it. All right. Okay. As you guys can see, this is how it looks like right here. Pretty amazing cutscene. And now we go ahead and shoot the ball, and there we go. All right, so after searching for like 10 minutes once again, I was actually not able to find this one either. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere out there in the anime or manga, but yeah, I was not able to find it. But anyways, let's go ahead and rank this in the tier list. All right, so in terms of King, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think I'm gonna have to put him in the very accurate, bro. Like, that was actually very accurate. All right, the next style that we have is Yukamia, and the first move that we got is the freestyle, which pretty much does this. You just like dribble through the guy. I'm not gonna lie, pretty nice move. And in the anime, as you guys can see, this is how it looks like. All right, so as you guys can see, Yukamia literally just dribbles through the guy. And the next move that we got is the Lethal Touch, which is another dribbling move. So let's go ahead and check out how that looks like in the anime. And in terms of this move, I was actually not able to find it from the anime, but this is what I kind of found, which is like a little similar to what it is. But let's move on to the next move. All right, so now it is time for the Awakening. All right, so this right here is the Awakening animation that we do have for Yukamia. And as you guys can see in the anime, this is how it looks like, pretty similar. And the first move that we do have for his Awakening is the Street Dribbling. So as you guys can see, you get to like choose where you want to go, and this is how it looks like in the game. So let's go ahead and see how this looks like in the anime or manga. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, it literally looks exactly the same. He gets to see like the path that he's gonna follow, and he sees where to dribble, where to shoot, and all that kind of stuff as well. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it looks pretty accurate, bro. This is actually insane. And last but not least, we got the gyro shot. So let me just go ahead and just aim this over here. And as you guys can see, this is how this shooting move looks like right here, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's a pretty cool shooting move. There we go. All right, and that's how it looks like in the game. Let's see how it looks like in the anime. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, my boy Yukamia is about to shoot the ball. He found the perfect spot to aim, and yeah, it's literally just a shooting move where he focuses like very precisely, okay? All right, so in terms of Yukamia, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I think I'm gonna put him in the accurate category for now, but let's move on to the next style. And the next style that we have is Igaguri. The first move that we got is the Militia. So I'm pretty sure what this does is you just like steal the ball from the person. You actually ragdoll them as well. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, this is kind of what I found. So as you guys can see, he kicks the ball and Igaguri just like deflects it with his face. All right, the next move that we have is the Monk Pass, and this one pretty much just passes the ball to your teammate like that. It's a pretty simple move, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And this is where I found found it from, alright? So I'm pretty sure this is from season 2 of Blue Lock. So as you guys can see, Chiguri passes the ball to Shido. Alright, so now moving on to the ultimate mode, alright? So as you guys can see, this is how the awakening animation looks like for Chiguri. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it looks pretty cool. So that's how that looks like right there. And in the anime, as you guys can see, I guess this is kind of where they got it from, but they added their own like twist on top of it. But the first move that we do have is the Dharma chains, and I'm pretty sure this is a stealing move, alright? So check this out, boys. Check this out, alright? You left yourself open, you take the ball from the guy. I'm pretty sure the person gets ragdolled as well. Yeah, they get ragdolled for like a second. Alright, so this is actually from the manga. So as you guys can see, this is kind of where they got it from right here. Alright, so the next move that we have is the genius killing militia. So let's go and see what this one does. I'm pretty sure this one is a dribbling move if I'm not wrong. I don't think it's a shooting move. So as you guys can see, this is how it looks like. Oh yeah, it's just a ragdoll move. Alright, so this one actually is from the manga as well. So as you guys can see, this is kind of where they got it from in the manga. So in terms of Chiguri, I guess I'm gonna have to put him in the decent tier for now, but let's move on to the next style. And the next style that we have is Loki. Alright, so the first move that we have with Loki is the distortion move. So as you guys can see with this one, you just like sort of dash forward with the ball. And this right here is how it looks like in the anime, okay? So as you guys can see, my boy Loki got the ball and he just like dashes forward. Like that's insane, bro. The next move that we have is the stride. And this one is also a sort of dashing move. And you can actually shoot the ball at the very end as well, which has a ton of power. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And in the anime, as you guys can see, this is how it looks like. So as you guys can see, my boy Loki just dashes through, bro. Look at that, bro. Oh my goodness. And the next move that we have is the gear shift. And to be honest with this one, it's not really a move because what it does is it just like buffs the other moves that you have. So it buffs this one and then buffs this one as well. All right, so let's go ahead and pop our ultimate mode with Loki real quick. And as you guys can see, this is how the awakening animation looks like. All right, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Okay. All right. So that's how the awakening animation looks like in the game. Let's check out how it looks like in the anime. All right, so as you guys can see in the anime, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's pretty similar, bro. Look at this, bro. Same voice line, same everything. And then my boy Loki just like, bro, look at that, man. Oh my goodness, bro. This guy is too quick. And the first move that we do have with Loki is the too slow. And the way this one works is I'm pretty sure it's a stealing move. So as you guys can see, somebody tries to steal or somebody tries to shoot the ball and you just like teleport to the ball and say too slow. And in terms of the manga, as you guys can see, I'm pretty sure this is the manga scene or the manga part they got it from. So obviously, as you guys can see, my boy Loki is saying too slow. And last but not least, we have a move called it's too slow. And I'm pretty sure this one, oh, it says must not have the ball. Okay, so let me give the ball to this guy right here. Ball must be loose. Okay, hold on. I actually forgot how this works. Okay, so the ball is over here. And if I use it, ball not in the... Bro, okay, so I'm gonna jump and now use the move. And as you guys can see, this is how it looks like right here, okay? So this right here is the it's too slow. Not gonna lie to you guys, it looks pretty fire, bro. You literally just kick the ball. The Kaiser impact is too slow. Oh, that's aura, bro. That's aura. And yeah, here we have a fan-made animation of the manga scene where this is from. So as you guys can see, he kicks the ball. Yeah, I kind of see where they got it from, but I'm pretty sure I do know which part of the manga this is from. So let me show you guys the manga panel of this scene real quick, okay? All right, so as you guys can see, this is the iconic panel, okay? So Loki is just like standing there or sitting there like menacingly. And he says Kaiser impact is too slow. That's insane, bro. And that is actually insane. All right, so in terms of Loki, I'm not gonna lie, man, this one is a no-brainer. It's gonna be going into the very accurate tier. All right, the next style that we have is the normal Isagi. All right, so the first move that we have is the normal direct shot. So you just kick the ball. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the range on this is kind of buns, bro. Look how bad that range is. All right, so this is the scene where Isagi uses his direct shot in the anime. So as you guys can see, my boy uses his direct shot, kicks the ball. There we go. And of course, he actually goes ahead and scores that right there, bruh. All right, next up, we got the fadeaway. And the way this one works is actually a move where you, you know, push the person out of your way. So that's how it looks like in the game. Let's go ahead and check out how it looks like in the anime. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, Isagi uses his move, dashes forward, and like everybody's just like shocked, bro. All right, so the next thing that we have is the awakening animation that we do have with normal Isagi as well. So as you guys can see, we got the puzzle pieces, blind spot off the ball, puzzle pieces going around us. So this is actually, you know, pretty cool little animation. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, it's actually like quite the same. So obviously we got the puzzle pieces going around Isagi, same exact animations. Oh, this is actually pretty identical, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. But in terms of our ultimate mode, we do have one move called the final shot. Let me just like not try to score. So I'm gonna aim like over here. So if I use the final shot, as you guys can see, bro, this is how the final shot looks like, okay? So obviously screen goes blue. We got the puzzle pieces around us. Luck. All right, we got the lucky puzzle piece. And now we go ahead and shoot the ball. And there we go. Pretty good power and stuff. So that's how the final shot looks like in the game. Let's check out how it looks like in the anime. All right, so in the anime, it's actually like pretty identical identical once again, bro. We got the same puzzle pieces everywhere. It's actually insane how identical this is, bro. Oh my goodness. We got the luck, bro. It's the same thing in the game. Yo, this is actually sick. So yeah, we go ahead and just kick the ball. We got insane power, bro. My boy Isagi is locked in, bro. He is locked in. Oh my goodness. All right, so in terms of normal Isagi, once again, bro, this is very accurate. So we're gonna put him in the very accurate, and let's move on to the next style. And the next style that we have is Kaiser. All right, so the first move that we have with Kaiser is the Kaiser impact. So let me go ahead and just kick this over here. And bro, they nerfed that move so badly, man. All right, so here we have a fan-made animation of how the Kaiser's impact is supposed to look like in the manga and stuff. So obviously he kicks the ball with a lot of power and it goes across like the field. Next up, we got the Emperor dribble. So this one is pretty self-explanatory. You just dribble with the ball, and at the end of the dribble move, we actually get a impact move which lets you like shoot the ball as well. All right, so unfortunately, I was not able to find anything for the dribble move, but let's move on to the next move, which is the Kaiser volley. And basically what this does is you take the ball from your teammate and just shoot the ball as well. The ball does curve, so that's how the Kaiser volley looks like. Let's check out how it looks like in the anime or manga. All right, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Once again, it's kind of hard to find this one, but I guess this is like sort of where they got it from. So you just take the ball from your teammate and kick the ball, I guess. You also get the Emperor route, which does that. So it's pretty much the dribble move, but without the ball, and you get to stun the person. So yeah, I don't think there's anything for this one either, but let's move on to the awakening. All right, so in terms of the awakening, as you guys can see, we got the phone, get on your knees, blue lock. All right, pretty cool awakening animation. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Okay. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, Kaiser gets a phone call. He picks up the phone, and yeah, it's very identical, bro. It's actually insane, dude. Look at this, man. So the first move that we do have for our awakening is the Bienshus, and this is like the bicycle kick. So let me just aim off goal, and let me go. Oh, no enemy nearby. And yeah, this is actually like one of the most iconic Kaiser moves, bro. Eat this, loser. So you call the guy a loser, and you hit him with a bicycle kick. There we go. All right, so here we have a fan-made animation of this. Okay, so as you guys can see, Kaiser finds a spot where he wants to like, you know, shoot. He goes ahead and you know, does the bicycle kick. There we go. And yeah, I'm pretty sure there's also a manga panel of this as well, but I feel like the animation kind of shows it to you guys better. But yeah, there we go, bro. Check that out, man. All right, the next move that we have is the Magnus. All right, so let me go ahead and just use this one over here. So this is the Magnus move. Pretty cool move, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, it's a shooting move, so there we go. We got that hand as well. All right, so here we have another fan-made animation of where this happens in the manga. So yeah, this is actually from the manga. So as you guys can see, Kaiser goes ahead and you know, kicks the ball, and of course he goes ahead and scores that, and he does his little celebration at the very end, which is pretty identical to the one that we have in the game. So in terms of Kaiser, I'm gonna go ahead and put him in the accurate tier as well, because I feel like it was decently accurate. But let's move on to the next character, and the next character that we have is Hiori. All right, so the first move that we have with Hiori is the laser, and I'm pretty sure this is a passing move. Yeah, I think I passed to the wrong person. So this is a passing move where you could like pass to your teammate like that, I guess, or it's shooting, bro. They actually reworked Hiori. Like, I don't even remember how it works now. But anyways, this is how it looks like in the anime, okay? So obviously Hiori with the ball, and he goes ahead and passes. Next up, we got the frostbite, where Hiori just like stomps down, and he got like this amazing cool like snowflake thing around him, and I'm pretty sure it slows other people down if they are in the snowflake. So that is pretty cool. Let's see how that looks like in the anime. All right, so in the anime or manga, this is how it kind of looks like. So we still got that snowflake and stuff. It looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. All right, but next up, we got the awakening animation for Hiori. All right, so check this out, boys. Check this out. So this right here is the awakening animation, and in terms of the awakening animation, as you guys can see, this is where they kind of got it from. But in terms of the awakening moves, we actually only have one awakening move, which is called the curve pass. So let me just pass to my teammate over there. So yeah, this is one of the best passing moves in the game. It has like infinite range, so you could like pass across the entire map if you want to. And yeah, in the anime, it looks like kind of the same. So you just pass the ball. It's a really good passing move. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, bro. Look at that. Look at that pass. All right, so in terms of Hiori, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think I'm gonna have to put him. Do I put him in accurate or decent? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put him in decent for now. But let's move on to the next style. And the next style that we have is Nel Rin. All right, so the first move that we got is the Destroyer Domain, which does this over here. So you get this little circle thing. I'm pretty sure you could steal the ball as well, and like, you know, dribble against people and stuff like that. All right, so in the anime, this is how it looks like right over here. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is kind of where they got the idea from. All right, next up, we got the Destructive Charge, and this one actually is a stealing move, so you could like steal the ball off somebody like that. And in the anime, as you guys can see, this is where they got it from. All right, so you pretty much just steal the ball. Next up, we got the Occultation Break, which is actually a pretty crazy dribbling move, bro. Like, look, you actually go pretty far with this, bro. This is insane. All right, so for this one, I found a like fan-made animation of this one. So as you guys can see, Rin just goes through like almost everyone. And the last move that we got is the Annihilate. So this one is a shooting move, so you shoot the ball curves quite a bit as well. So it's pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so for this one, we have another fan-made animation, so check this out. It looks pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Alright, so he kicks the ball obviously curves as well. Alright, but now we have the awakening animation, alright? So as you guys can see, this right here is the awakening animation. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it looks pretty cool. Alright, there we go, pretty cool stuff. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they actually reworked this in the recent update as well. So they fixed the subtitles and made it a lot better in the recent update. So you could actually see that, bro. Alright, so in terms of the anime, this is how the awakening animation looks like. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it looks pretty accurate to the one that we have in the game. So yeah, it looks pretty cool, bro. He grabs the hand. Yes, sir, my boy's locked in, bro. My boy Rin is locked in. There we go. Yes, sir. So he remembers his childhood now. So yeah, you could kind of see where they got it from in the game. It looks pretty accurate, bro. That's actually pretty nice. Alright, so the first move that we have is a new toy. So must not have balls. So let me just kick the ball away. So as you guys can see, this right here is a new toy. Oh my god, this looks insane, bro. Oh my days. I'm pretty sure that steals the ball. Look at that. We got the monster behind us. Alright, so this right here is how it looks like in the anime. I think this is also a fan-made animation if I'm not wrong. But yeah, look at that, bro. That looks insane. That's how they got that first move, which is a new toy, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that's that right there. It looks pretty decent, man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, bro. Look, he's aura farming, bro. He's literally just aura farming. What is he doing? The next move that we got is the destructive crash shot. So it must be in front of player with the ball. Let me just aim over there. And yeah, this is a shooting move, all right? So as you guys can see, we got that monster behind us once again. He tries to take the ball from me, and he is not gonna take nothing, bro. All right, so this one, in terms of the anime, we have a fan-made animation instead, because I couldn't really find it. But yeah, this is how the fan-made animation does look like, in case you guys were wondering. It looks pretty cool, bro. It looks like kind of identical to the one that we have in the game as well. All right, so this right here is the die move, all right? So this one's actually pretty insane. I'm pretty sure this is from that one scene in the manga where, you know, Rin grabs Isagi. So yeah, it's pretty insane, man. The disrespect is insane, bro. So he goes ahead and kicks the ball like that. Pretty cool move, I'm not gonna lie. All right, so in terms of the die, like I did say, I'm pretty sure this is from that one manga panel where he grabs Isagi. But so in terms of Rin, I'm gonna go ahead and put him in the accurate category as well. But let's move on to the next one. And the next style that we have is Kasu. All right, so the first move that we do have with Kasu is the Raven dribble. So you pretty much just dribble with the ball like that. Pretty cool dribbling move, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, this is how it looks like. All right, so Kasu just dribbling through everybody right now, bro. And the next move that we have is the crow theft, and this one is actually a pretty cool one as well. So you just start running like super fast with the ball, and you're actually able to steal the ball as well if somebody has the ball. All right, so in the anime, this is how it looks like. So it's kind of the same idea. You know, Kasu just comes, grabs the ball, he steals the ball. So that's where they kind of got the crow theft from. All right, but the next thing that we have is the awakening. All right, so this right here is the awakening animation. It's a pretty short one, I'm not gonna lie. And this is how it looks like in the anime, okay? So this is kind of where they got it, I guess. And in terms of Kasu, we only have one move, which is the crow clearance. And the way this works is if the ball is in the air, you just like take possession of that ball, right? So you just catch the ball, take possession of it. It's kind of how like Aiku used to work like back in the day before he got reworked for his ultimate move. But all right, so as you guys can see, Kasu just kind of just comes and just takes possession of the ball, bro. So he just teleports, takes the ball. So in terms of Kasu, I'm gonna have to put him in the decent tier for now, but let's move on to the next style. And the next style that we have is Corona. All right, so the first move that we have with Corona is the 1-2. So you just like 1-2 with your teammate. You guys like pass back and forth and stuff. So all right, so here we have a fan-made animation of where this is kind of from in the anime. So all right, so the next move that we have is the shark steal. So you just like steal the ball from the person like that. Pretty decent stealing move, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. All right, so in terms of this one, I guess this is like sort of like the closest thing I've found. He just like goes defense mode and like kind of steals the ball, I guess. All right, so this right here is the awakening animation that we have for Corona as well. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like it's not the best animation. I don't even know what that was right there. But yeah, in terms of his awakening animation, I couldn't really find anything for that. But so we do have one move called the planet hotline. So let me go ahead and see what this does real quick. So I'm pretty sure this is also a passing move. So it says your partner is that guy over there. All right, so pretty much now you could like, you know, just pass around with your teammate. It's like a better version of the 1-2. So all right, so in terms of the anime, I actually did find another fan-made animation. So it's basically a better version of the 1-2. You just pass around with your teammate, and that's basically all that there is for that. All right, so in terms of Corona, I don't know, man. Do I put him in what, the Sigma? Okay, I'm gonna put him in decent, okay? We're gonna put him in decent for now, but let's move on to the next style. All right, the next style that we have is Shido. All right, so in terms of Shido, the first move that we have is the dragon drive. So you pretty much just go in the air and just shoot the ball like that. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, this is kind of where they got it from. So Sai passes the ball to Shido. So Shido goes ahead and takes the ball. He's gonna go ahead and do his dragon drive now. So my boy hops up in the air, does his dragon drive. He has his demon wing as well. well. And yeah, it's pretty fire, bro. It's a pretty fire move. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, all right? So dragon drive right there. All right, next up, we got the dragon header. So it's essentially the same thing, but this time you actually like header the ball like that. So that one is also pretty cool. Let's see how that looks like in the anime. All right, so this right here was the closest thing I kind of found. So as you guys can see, this is how it looks like right here. You know, Shido with the ball, he does his dragon header, hits the ball with his head, and look at that power, bro. Oh my goodness, man. But anyways, boys, this right here is the awakening animation that we have for Shido. All right, pretty fire. And this is how it looks like in the anime, okay? So as you guys can see, my boy Shido is locked in. He says, let's start as well. And in terms of the awakening, we only have one move called the Big Bang Drive. So let me just go ahead and use this one over here. One of the best moves in the game, in my opinion, bro. This is actually a really good move, bro. Check this out, bro. I'm like losing my voice right now, bro. Anyways, as you guys can see, that right there is the Big Bang Drive. Crazy move. I'm not gonna... I don't know how I missed that, bro. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, it's actually pretty similar, bro. Check this out. We got the demon wings. My boy Shido goes up into the air, and he's locked in, bro. He is locked in. Oh my goodness. As you guys can see, this right here is the Big Bang Drive. He goes ahead and kicks that right there. Look at that power, bro. Look at that power. All right, so in terms of Shido, bro, I'm gonna have to put him in the very accurate. Like, that was actually really, really good. All right, the next style that we have is Nel Rio. All right, so the first move that we have with Nel Rio is the chameleon. And essentially what this is, it lets you copy like other people's moves. So I can copy this Isagi's direct shot. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, for this one, I couldn't really find anything because like it's just the copy move where he copies other people and stuff. But let's move on to the next move, which is the camouflage. And basically what this one does is you kind of like go invisible and you could actually steal the ball as well. So let's say, for example, I give the ball to Naggi and I use the camouflage. Like, I kind of messed up, but you're actually able to steal the ball. All right, so I couldn't really find that one either, but we also got the close quarter dribble, which actually leads into like a passing move. So you could like pass to somebody at the end as well. All right, so for this one, as you guys can see, it's from the manga. I'm not really sure if this is correct, but I guess this is where they kind of got it from, I guess. And obviously we got the strike mode. We also got the defense mode, so you could switch between the two modes depending on what you want to do. So let's go and see how that looks like in the anime as well. All right, I couldn't really find anything for that either, but let's move on to the awakenings because there's actually two awakenings that we do have for Nel Rio. All right, so the first one that we have is this one right here, and I'm pretty sure this one is the defense mode. So yeah, this one is the defense mode ability, or the awakening that we have for defense mode. So obviously we got the master copy, which lets you like copy any masterclass styles. Honestly, man, like most of these moves are from the manga directly, so I can't really show most of them. I mean, I could, but like I'm pretty sure everybody knows where they're from, bro. But yeah, we also got the Neo tap lift, so you copy the tap lift that Naggi does have. So let me just show you guys this one over here, okay? So this is how it looks like in the game. He copies Naggi's like tap lift move. So as you guys can see, it's literally Naggi's move. He's gonna go ahead and shoot that real quick. There we go. Pretty cool move. So that's how it looks like in the game. Let's see how it looks like in the anime. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, he went ahead and copied Naggi's move, okay? As you guys can see, it's literally Naggi's tap lift move. It looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. All right, he literally just copied that. Everybody is so shocked on how he copied it, but hey, man, this guy's a chameleon, bro. All right, he is the chameleon. All right, but next up, we have the strike mode, all right? So we also have the strike mode for Rio as well. So in the strike mode, we have some different moves as well. We got the master copy once again. We also got this dribbling move. So that's that dribbling move right there. I'm pretty sure that's from that same manga scene earlier. All right, but anyways, the next move that we have is the Neo gyro shot. So this is how this looks like in the game. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, pretty decent like looking move. So you pretty much just do this. All right, looks pretty cool so far. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And you actually go ahead and shoot the ball at the very end, and that's how that looks like right there. And we also got the Neo dragon drive as well. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do with this. So let me just show you guys how these look like in the anime and manga real quick. All right, so first things first, let me just show you guys how the awakening animation looks like. I forgot to show this earlier, but this is the awakening animation for the attack mode. And this right here is how the awakening looks like with the defense mode of Rio as well. So the defense awakening mode, or the awakening animation, is how that is right here. All right, so in terms of the Neo gyro shot, this is how it looks like in the anime. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, there's a lot of different stuff they took inspiration from, some from the manga, some from the anime, but this is how the Neo gyro shot does look like. All right, so in terms of the Neo dragon drive, this is where they kind of got it from in the manga. Yeah, it's from the manga directly, so that's that right there. So in terms of Rio, I don't know why he's still yellow. It's supposed to say Nel Rio and it's supposed to be red, but just pretend it is. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the accurate category for now. All right, next up we got Bachira, and you know what, man? Since we have two Bachiras, I'm not gonna show this one. I'm gonna try to get like the Nel Bachira instead, because like, bro, like I'm not trying to have this video like be 3 hours long, okay? So I'm just gonna skip this one, okay? So in terms of Bachira, I'm pretty sure he's accurate. I've actually like ranked this before, so I know it's accurate for a fact. But let's move on to the next one. And we also got normal Naggi as well. Normal Naggi, I'm gonna put him in accurate as well, since we already did the Nel Naggi. So yeah, these are the ones that we still have left. So let me go ahead and try to get these real quick. All right, the next style that we have is Otoya. And the first move that we do have is the stealthy steps, which pretty much lets you kind of go invisible like this. So it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Next up, we got the ninja dribble. So this one is pretty cool as well. We get a shooting move at the very end as well. So that right there is the ninja dribble. And in the anime, this is how it looks like right here. All right, let me just pop my awakening real quick. So this right here is the awakening animation that we do have for Otoya as well. And in terms of the awakening animation, I couldn't really find anything, you know, based off that animation. But let's go ahead and move on to the move, which is the ninja shot. So let me just go ahead and aim this over here. And as you guys can see, this right here is the ninja shot. All right, it looks pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, it looks kind of identical so far. So yeah, he goes ahead and just goes through the person. He's gonna go ahead and use his ninja shot now. So he goes ahead and winds up the kick. And yeah, he goes ahead and kicks the ball. And that's where they got the inspiration from. So in terms of Otoya, I'm gonna put him in decent for now. But let's move on to the next style. And the next style that we have is Gagamaru. All right, so in terms of Gagamaru, the first move that we have is the scorpion, which is pretty much like a diving type of thing. That's how that looks like right there. All right, so in the anime, this is how it looks like. So Gagamaru has the ball, or the ball's coming towards him, and he just like dives and like shoots the ball. Next up, we got the fast reactions. And to be honest with this one, I don't think there's really anything. It's just like faster reactions. You're just a lot quicker. So I don't think there's any reference for that one right. But the next move that we have is the diving header. And this one's actually essentially the same thing as the scorpion. So you just dive and head the ball. So it's like the same like reference as the last one, which is the scorpion. All right, so here we have the awakening animation for Gagamaru. All right, so this right here is the awakening animation. I don't know why the animations did not play. That's pretty weird. But anyways, in terms of Gagamaru, we have two moves for our awakening. All right, so the first move that we have is the handstand, and this one pretty much just deflects the ball. It's pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure that's from like that one manga panel. I couldn't really find it, but the next one that we have is the bear claw. So let me just kick this over there, and if I use the bear claw, 5 seconds to get the ball, as you guys can see, you instantly save the ball. All right, so you save the ball, and then you throw the ball like that, and you actually throw it like kind of far as well. So let's see how that looks like in the anime. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, or not, this is not the anime, it's like a fan-made animation, but it kind of shows you guys like the general concept. So he saves the ball like that. Once he saves the ball, he goes ahead and chucks it across the field, bro. So in terms of Gagamaru, I guess I'm gonna put him in the I don't know, I guess I'm gonna put him in accurate for now. Okay, we'll put him in accurate for now. All right, the next style that we have is Kunigami. All right, so the first move that we do have with Kunigami is the power shot. So you pretty much just shoot the ball with a bunch of power like that. Pretty cool stuff. Let's see how it looks like in anime. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, this is where they got the reference from. So he found an opening, and he pretty much you know, like figures out where to shoot from, kicks the ball with a bunch of power. Look at that power, bro. That's some insane power right there, dude. All right, so the next move that we have is the body block, and this one's actually a pretty funny move. So you just like ragdoll the person like that. So that's how the body block looks like in the game. And in the anime, as you guys can see, this is how the body block looks like in the anime. Okay, check this out. So he literally just like body blocks the person. All right, so next up we have the awakening animation. All right, so this right here is the awakening animation that we have for Kunigami. Not gonna lie, it looks pretty fire, bro. It looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. All right, and yeah, obviously, as you guys can see, this is directly from the manga as well. But the first move that we have for his awakening is the Joker. Okay, I don't know why I'm not able to see the other net. Is my graphics low? My graphics are literally maxed out, bro. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but anyways, let me just go ahead and use the Joker move. So you jump up, use the Joker, and this is how the Joker looks like in the game right now. Okay, so as you guys can see, it looks pretty decent. So that's how it looks like in the game. Let's see how it looks like in the anime. All right, so here we have another fan-made animation of how this looks like. Okay, so it's it looks pretty cool. You know, nice little fan-made animation. I'm pretty sure this is from the manga as well. All right, the next move that we have is the fallen hero. So I'm pretty sure for this one, I need to like go in front of somebody. So let me just go over here, and we're gonna go ahead and use the move. So yeah, this right here is the fallen hero. Not gonna lie to you guys, pretty decent move. All right, there we go. We kick the ball, and yeah, that's how the fallen hero looks like in the game. All right, so here we have another fan-made animation. Okay, so this is where they kind of got it from. It's a fan-made animation of the manga. So in terms of Kunigami, bro, I'm gonna have to put him in the accurate tier for now, but let's move on to the next style. And the next style that we have is Aiku. All right, so the first move that we have with Aiku is the ambush, which pretty much is like, you know, you steal the ball like that. Pretty cool move. All right, so in the anime, this is how it looks like for the ambush move. Okay, so Aiku literally just comes up to this guy, takes the ball. The next move that we have is the snake clear, and this one's actually a shooting move. So you shoot the ball like that. It does actually go pretty far, which is pretty surprising for Aiku. And unfortunately for that one, I couldn't really find a reference, but we do have one more move, which is the snake clear. But we do have one more move, which is called the slither step, which you know, you just kind of dash forward. We also got another one where it's the periscope, so you kind of like do this, cannot start. But yeah, essentially what it does is you just like stop the ball in midair. So if I do it again, as you guys can see, this is how it looks like. So let me see if there's a reference for this one. Okay, after searching, I couldn't really find anything for that move either. So let's just go ahead and move on to the awakening. All right, so here we have the awakening animation for Aiku. All right, so as you guys can see, this is how the awakening animation looks like. We got this amazing snake going around us right now. Oh, that's fire, bro. All right, so this is how it looks like in the anime, I think. It's like he's just locked in, but we don't see the snakes or anything. All right, the first move that we have is the cobra move. All right, so this is a stealing move. So you pretty much just bite the person with your snake and you just take the ball from them. The next move that we have is the basilic. So it says must not have ball not in the air. Okay, so this is this move over here. So this is how the basilic looks like. We got the snake and stuff. We go ahead and kick the ball. Let me see if there's a reference for this one as well, because there was none for the cobra. All right, so this right here is the reference I kind of found in the anime. So as you guys can see, the snake spawns around Aiku. Oh, that's so fire, bro. All right, last but not least, we got the viper. So I'm pretty sure this is also a shooting move. So this right here is the viper move. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it looks pretty decent. So this is how the viper looks like right here. We go ahead and kick the ball. We get the snake behind us. There we go. So that's how the viper looks like. Let's see how it looks like in the anime. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, this is where they got it from, right? So we got Sai over here, and we got Aiku pulling up. All right, we got my boy Aiku over here. I don't know why he's like talking to himself right now, but he goes ahead and kicks the ball now. All right, so my boy Aiku kicks the ball like so. There we, oh my goodness, that's a crazy kick, bro. So in terms of Aiku, I guess I'm gonna put him in the decent tier for now, because I couldn't really find much about his moves. But let's move on to the next style. All right, the next style that we have is Nel Bachara, and the first move that we have for Nel Bachara is the monster steal. So this one, you pretty much just steal the ball like that. Pretty simple stuff. All right, so this is how the monster steal looks like in the anime. So as you guys can see, you just steal the ball, or Bachara steals the ball. The next move that we have is the roulette. So yeah, as you guys can see, you just like kind of roulette, and then you also have that smash lift at the end as well. So we got the smash lift, which lets you actually shoot the ball as well. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, in the anime, this is how it looks like. All right, so my boy Bachara just dribbling like crazy. Oh my goodness, bro, this guy's breaking some ankles right now, dude. So yeah, that's how the roulette looks like in the anime. Looks pretty cool, bro. I'm losing my voice, bro. All right, the next move that we have is the butterfly nutmeg. So obviously another dribbling move. Pretty cool dribbling move, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I don't know how he got the ball. All right, so in the anime, this is how it looks like. All right, my boy Bachara just like breaking ankles, you know, just like it looks pretty fire, man. It actually looks pretty good, dude. Oh my goodness, bro, that is fire. All right, so now we have the awakening animation. All right, so this right here is the awakening animation that we do have. Looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. All right, we got the little like monster behind us as well. Okay, all right, so this is how it looks like in the anime. Okay, so my boy Bachara warming up, and he just locks in, bro. All right, first move that we have is the Jinja dribble. So obviously a dribbling move like this. Pretty cool dribbling move. All right, so in the anime, this is how it looks like. All right, so check this out, boys. Check this out. Oh my goodness, bro, he's too quick. There we go. Oh my goodness, bro, that is actually wild. Yeah, okay, yeah, as you guys can see, bro, it's pretty accurate. I feel like it is kind of accurate to the one in the game, but this one looks amazing, bro. Oh my god. All right, the next move that we have is the Jinja monster. So let's go ahead and use this one real quick. All right, so this right here is the Jinja monster. Not gonna lie to you guys, it looks pretty cool, bro. Check that out, bro. Check that out. So it's a nice cool shooting move like so. Let's see how it looks like in the anime. All right, so in the anime, this is how it looks like. All right, so we got everybody surrounding Bachara, and my boy Bachara locks in once again, bro. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he goes ahead and shoots the ball now. So yeah, he's gonna go ahead and shoot the ball, and I'm pretty sure that's where they kind of got the inspiration from. All right, last but not least, we got the freestyle B shot. It must be close. Okay, I gotta go over there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No, it's running out. It's running out. Okay, ran out. All right, so next up, we got the freestyle B shot. So let me go ahead and use this over here real quick. So yeah, this one is actually pretty cool as well. So check this out, bro. It's one of the like the best shooting moves that Bachara does have. It's kind of loud though, but that's how it looks like right there. Let's see how it looks like in the anime. All right, so here we have a fan-made animation of this happening. Okay, so check this out, bro. So it's the freestyle B shot. I'm pretty sure this is also in the manga as well, but I feel like it's better to see it animated instead of like the manga panels. So that's how it looks like right there, bro. Pretty cool. All right, so in terms of Nel Bachara, I'm gonna have to put him in the accurate tier for now. And the last two styles that we have remaining is Nel Isagi and Sai. All right, so the first style that we're gonna be starting off with is Sai. All right, so the first move that we have with Sai is the arm swipe. All right, so this is pretty much this move over. Can't use bro, what does that mean, bro? Let me use it. Okay, I don't know why that's not working, but we'll come back to it. The next move that we have is the Metavision. So this one actually lets you see what style people are using. It also gives you a speed buff, and it gives you infinite stamina as well. So as you guys can see, I am no longer using stamina. So let's see how this looks like in the anime. Okay, in terms of the Metavision, I couldn't really find anything for that, but let me see if the arm swipe works now. So let me just go up to my other account, and boom, there we go. So that right there is the arm swipe. You pretty much just like smack them in the face and they do get ragdolled. And this is how it looks like in the anime, okay? So as you guys can see, Sai uses it against Rin right here, okay? So he just smacks Rin over there, and bro, that's actually insane, bro. The next move that we have is the perfect pass, which pretty much just passes the ball to your teammate perfectly. So as you guys can see, I passed the ball to him and he got it like right away. And this is how it looks like in the anime. So as you guys can see, Sai passes the ball perfectly, bro. All right, next up, we got the magical turn, which is actually a really good, like, you know, dribbling move, and it actually gives us heel kick as well. So we get magical turn and the heel kick. All right, so this is how it looks like in the anime, okay? So as you guys can see, bro, Sai is actually too good. All right, last but not least, we got the beautiful shot, which pretty much just lets you shoot the ball like that. So that's how it looks like in the game. Let's see how it looks like in the anime. All right, so in the anime, this is how it looks like. All right, stop interrupting me. Is he talking to Rin? You're such a pain, little brother, bro. This guy is actually cold, bro. So he goes ahead and kicks the ball like that. Look at that power, bro. That is actually insane. All right, but now we're moving on to the awakening mode. All right, so this right here is the awakening mode that we have for Sai. So that looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And in the anime, this is how the awakening looks like. All right, so check this out. This is where they kind of got the inspiration from. It looks pretty identical so far, bro. It actually looks pretty good. Only idiots can keep up with me. We'll see what comes next. And in terms of the awakening, we only have one move called You'll Never Surpass Me. So let's go ahead and just aim over here and check this out. And this is actually very iconic. This is directly from the anime. Sai does this to his own brother, which is Rin. Yeah, it looks insane, bro. This is actually insane. So he goes through the guy. You will never surpass me. Bro, that's insane. And then he kicks the ball like so. And there we go. So let's see how that looks like in the anime. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, you know, Sai is doing this against his own brother, bro. It looks exactly the same way it does in the game. You go through the guy. You will never surpass me. Oh my god, bro. That's insane. That is actually insane, dude. And he shoots the ball and of course he scores. All right, so in terms of Sai, man, really cool style. So I'm gonna have to put him in the accurate category as well. And the last one that we have remaining is Nell Isagi. And here we have it, Nell Isagi. All right, so the first move that we're gonna be checking out is the dash. So obviously pretty self-explanatory. You just dash with the ball like that. So let's see how that looks like in the anime. All right, so this right here is the closest thing I kind of found that does, you know, show the dash. So as you guys can see, my boy Isagi just dashing through everybody, bro. All right, the next move that we have is the direct shot. So it's pretty much a better version of the normal direct shot with more power, more range and stuff like that. All right, the next move that we have is the lefty shoot. So as you guys, why'd that break? All right, bro, why is it not working? Okay, I don't know why it's like bugging. Like, am I stuck? Bro, what is going on? Okay, there we go. So that right there is the lefty shoot. All right, so this was like kind of the closest thing I, you know, kind of found for this. So as you guys can see, this is how it looks like, which is the lefty shoot. He goes ahead and, you know, kicks the ball. There we go. Insane power, bro. Look at that power. All right, so next up, we got the Metavision. So the Metavision is pretty much the Metavision. So you just get to see what style people are using. You get a speed buff as well. So we're running pretty quickly right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So let's see how this looks like in the anime. All right, so in the anime, as you guys can see, we got Isagi right here. Bro, look at his eyes, bro. You can tell he's about to lock in. So yeah, this right here is the Metavision. All right, he gets to see like the vision of the whole field. All right, so now we have the awakening. All right, so this right here is the awakening animation that we have for Nell Isagi. Not gonna lie to you guys, it looks pretty cool. The first move that we have is the Demon King. All right, so let me just jump up in the air. So this is a air move, so you gotta be in the air to see how it works. So there we go. Pretty cool move. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. All right, so that's how it looks like in the game. Let's see how it looks like in the anime. All right, the next move that we have is the two-gun volley. So this right here is the two-gun volley. This one's actually pretty cool as well. I'm pretty sure we got two guns. Yeah, we got two guns that pop up. There we go. All right, let's see how that looks like in the anime. And last but not least, we got the true direct shot. And for this one, I need a teammate. So let me just go to my teammate all the way over there. And by the way, you actually get to see what moves the people have as well. So let me just give the ball. Okay, you want to take the ball? Okay, there we go. And if I use the true direct shot, you take the ball from your teammate and you just shoot the ball like that. Pretty cool stuff, I'm not gonna lie. So let's see how that looks like in the anime as well. All right, so in terms of the awakening animation, this is how the awakening animation looks like in the anime. So this is like a fan-made animation, obviously, I'm pretty sure. So that's how that looks like right there. Pretty decent stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you guys, bro. That looks pretty cool. Oh, it's still going. It's still going, bro. It's still going. There we go. Okay. All right, so this right here is also a fan-made animation, I'm pretty sure. So as you guys can see, he's gonna go ahead and shoot the ball, and when he does shoot the ball, like we get the puzzle pieces and stuff, obviously. And one of the like the most iconic things is like the two guns that pop out, bro. It's called a two-gun volley for a reason, bro. Look at that. That's fire, bro. All right, so in terms of the true direct shot, I couldn't really find a reference for that one, but let's go ahead and rank this on the tier list, okay? All right, finally, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like this video actually took so long to record, so make sure you guys go ahead and like the video and subscribe, bro. Like I'm like losing my voice trying to record this video right now. But anyways, in terms of Nell Isagi, man, I feel like it was like decently accurate. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the final tier list that we do have in terms of accuracy from Blue Lock Rivals to the actual anime Blue Lock. If you guys guys agree with this or disagree with any of these styles? Let me know in the comments down below which ones you guys disagree with or agree with. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching the video all the way to the end. Make sure to like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.